Ryan Steinelson here with Business Trends TV, and today I have Blake Moser on the line. He's with medicalrecruiting.com. Blake is a specialist in medical recruiting. He does all kinds of medical recruiting. I met Blake first about probably 2 or 3 years ago, Blake. And by the way, you on, Blake?
I'm on, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
You bet. Blake is a specialist, as I was saying, in medical recruiting. He knows what he's doing, and he can talk about probably any different type of medical recruiting that's out there. The one that we're going to focus on today, because it's such a hot topic, is specifically nurse practitioner recruiting. So, Blake, if I'm looking for a great nurse practitioner, what are the things that I should be looking for? Or I'm sorry, a great nurse practitioner recruiter.
Right, if you're looking for a great nurse practitioner recruiter, what I would do is look for recruiters that specialize specifically in nurse practitioner recruiting. A lot of recruiters, even in the healthcare space, they enter into nurse practitioner recruiting either as nurse recruiters with an interest in helping nurse practitioners, or physician recruiters that have just moved over to this area because of the demand that's there. But recruiting a nurse practitioner is completely different than recruiting a nurse or a physician. Nurse practitioners have their own area of specialization, education, certification, training requirements. Even state by state, the things that they can do for a medical practice vary by the license in that state. And so working with someone that works specifically with advanced practice nurses, which are nurse practitioners, that's really going to put you on the right track with the right recruiter.
That's awesome. Now, so you're saying work with a recruiter that specializes in nurse practitioner recruiting. Now, what other types of things would you look for if you're looking for a good nurse practitioner recruiter besides just somebody that specializes in that? Is there anything else that you would look for?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to talk to somebody that has a strong network of nurse practitioners. You want to work with someone that communicates well, someone that is going to be responsive to your needs, someone that's accessible, that you can reach out to at any point. What I find the difference between just a good recruiter and one that's not is I get a lot of feedback that some recruiters just don't respond to emails or phone calls. A lot of recruiters are just open to wanting to make the next placement, whereas a good recruiter, what they're going to do is really take the role of a consultant. They're going to listen to your needs, your hiring needs. They're going to offer some direction, and they're going to be able to really partner with you in your recruitment efforts to accomplish your goals. If you're talking with just a generalist recruiter, they're going to be focused on making the placement. A good nurse practitioner recruiter is going to focus on being your consultant, listening to your needs, and really being able to answer your questions before ever jumping into the recruitment process.
Okay, that's great insight. Now, you work not only with the recruiting like the nurse practitioner themselves to find a job, but you also work with the companies that are looking for maybe more than just one nurse practitioner, correct? So can you tell me a little bit about that?
That's right. We work with employers of all sizes. We have some large university hospitals that we work with, Baylor, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, University of Florida. A lot of those university hospitals have ongoing needs within their nurse practitioner advanced practice programs. And so we do work with large hospital systems, but also we help employers of all sizes. Some of the employers that have the greatest need for hiring nurse practitioners are that solo private practice doctor that's looking to expand his patient base or her patient base and the services that they offer. But we work with government facilities, we work with community health centers, even corporations. I think one of the neatest requests that we had recently was CustomInc.com had reached out to us about hiring a nurse practitioner for employee health and wellness right on site. So an unconventional employer in the healthcare space.
Pretty interesting. That's a very interesting case study there. Now, it's interesting though that you're working on an ongoing basis with a lot of these employers over time, and how do you make their life easier? I mean, obviously what you're helping them because you've got a good solid database of people that are looking, nurse practitioners that are looking for a job. So how do you there's, and I think there's probably some nurse practitioner recruiters that maybe don't specialize in working with large corporations like that. What makes you unique that sets you apart from everybody else, that allows you to work so well with those larger corporations?
Right. Large corporations have unique needs. Hospitals have unique interviewing processes and hiring processes, navigating the HR process and the hiring process, depending on if it's doctors, different executives, and the HR people. A good case study of this, just talking about volume, we had an organization called CareSpot that called us, and about 2 years ago they were going through a massive expansion. They needed to hire about 80 nurse practitioners over a period of about a year and a half, 2 years. They had been working with a recruiter that just couldn't meet the volume demands. And so when they reached out to us, they were really looking for someone that could find nurse practitioners efficiently, but not just any nurse practitioner. They needed experienced nurse practitioners that could do suturing, they could read wet reads on x-rays, they could do procedures. And so what we were able to do is we were able to go into our proprietary database, which is made up of about 70,000 nurse practitioners across the nation. And we were able to narrow it down by those that had the experience in the medical specialty that they were hiring in, and we were efficiently able to launch our recruiting process. We reached out on a massive scale through emailing and phone calls, and then we narrowed it down to the specific people that the timing was right, the geographic location was right, and the medical specialty and patient base was right for their career interest. And we were able to meet their hiring needs. So that's a good case study of what we were able to offer, but what an employer or even a nurse practitioner should be looking for from nurse practitioners when engaging in a relationship like that.
That's huge, Blake. I think what you're saying is very important for people that are looking to hire a medical recruiter, or specifically a nurse practitioner recruiter. Is bottom line is, do they have a database so that they can meet their needs, especially if their needs are on a larger scale. If you've got a corporation and you're wanting to fill a bunch of positions, you want to work with a recruiter that has the ability to be able to scale and find all the nurse practitioners that they're looking for in the correct geographic area, and can effectively poll a database of nurse practitioners in order to find the best ones and recruit the best practitioners. I mean, that's a huge advantage, I think, that you have, that needs to be mentioned for sure. That's good.
We've done a lot of things over a period of time that has allowed us to build those relationships with nurse practitioners and build a database that we can communicate quickly with and efficiently with. But some of the things that we've done, we own and manage the largest group on LinkedIn for nurse practitioners. It's called the Advanced Practice Group on LinkedIn. I invite any of our watchers to join that group. We have about 21,000 members to date in that group. Also, some things that we did is we were early adopters in search engine optimization and social media. So we have an organic flow of candidate traffic, per se, or relationships with nurse practitioners in the market. And so we provide a unique, I would say, candidate experience when engaging with our organization as nurse practitioner recruiters. We have ongoing communication with those nurse practitioners to make sure timing is right, and then we're able to really communicate with them when an opening's right for them.
Blake, that is huge. I mean, you have that kind of a following on a LinkedIn group, 21,000. What's the name of that group again?
It's the Advanced Practice Group on LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn and just search group, type in Advanced Practice, it's the first one to pop up, or nurse practitioner, it will also be the first one to pop up.
That's huge. I mean, bottom line, if I'm a large corporation and I'm looking for a nurse practitioner, I want to know that my recruiter has access to as many nurse practitioners as possible, and not just through an email interface, but also with LinkedIn, which is a lot of times even more trusted than an email interface with any type of a nurse practitioner. So that's really good information. If somebody, and that brings me to my next question, which is, if somebody goes to medicalrecruiters.com, your company, if they go to your company, what kind of experience are they going to have? Just kind of walk me step by step through the process, maybe from the employer side and also maybe from the nurse practitioner side.
Sure. So we recognize that we have two customers. We have the customer that's the employer, and then we have the customer, which is the job seeker. And so when you go to medicalrecruiting.com, our website, as well as our company name, medicalrecruiting.com, you'll recognize that there are two paths to take. You can explore medicalrecruiting.com as an employer or as a job seeker. As an employer, what you're going to find is you're going to find information about our company and how we're able to meet your needs on a recruitment process. But what we want you to do is reach out to us. We'd like for you to call us, if you could call us at the number you see here, or send me an email at blake@medicalrecruiting.com. What we'll be able to do is engage in a conversation. And that's really where some value is, Ryan, is we're going to be able to listen to your needs, learn about your particular hiring needs, and put that consultant hat on and be able to answer a lot of your questions up front at no cost. This is something that we provide to employers at no cost. And when we're able to really identify the person that they need to hire, that's when we can start the recruitment process. We'll be able to target nurse practitioners based on geographic regions, geographic areas, medical specialty, particular qualifications, certifications, and also on a personality basis. I would say one of the things that sets us apart as recruiters is not only do we bring this massive access to nurse practitioners in the community that we've built, but we're going to be able to really identify the right nurse practitioner for your job. Having access to a lot of people allows us to start the recruitment process very effectively, but ultimately we want to narrow down and find just that one person that's right for your job. So we're going to assess what is the personality culture fit for the organization. Who's going to work well? What are the career interests for these people? And so these are questions that I invite employers to ask us so that we're able to find the right person for the job. On the flip side of it, a lot of that is pertinent for nurse practitioners as well. Nurse practitioners are going to want to know that this job is going to meet their needs long term, that this is going to meet their career interests, their scheduling needs, and that way that they have that good quality of life and work balance there. And so both nurse practitioners or employers, when they come to medicalrecruiting.com, they're going to be able to navigate and reach out to medicalrecruiting.com very efficiently based on their needs.
Great information, great insight. It really gave me a good insight into why, if I was a nurse practitioner, why I might want to call you guys up, or if I'm an employer looking for nurse practitioners, why I would